Hello, it's John from Double Sleeved here, and welcome to another Double Sleeved review, where today we're looking at another Kakapopo TCG Kickstarter. This time, it's the Monster Nest series. Let me just say at this point, Kakapopo TCG have been kind enough to send us all of these deck boxes for free. However, they do not pay us to say anything, and there is no affiliate link if you choose to purchase any of these boxes. This series is themed around monster guardians, mythical beasts sculpted onto these metal discs, tasked with protecting your precious cards inside. Within this series, there are 3 different deck boxes: the Monster Den, the Monster Fortress, and the Monster Cave. So let's start with descriptions. Firstly, the Monster Den. It's a small form factor deck box with a large flapped closure, magnetic with the disc on the front, large enough to supposedly hold 100 double sleeve cards plus some tokens, so we'll see about that in our capacity review. Next we have the Monster Fortress, a double flapped deck box with 2 compartments, one for accessories and the other for your deck, both magnetically sealed. Apparently, another 100 double sleeve cards and enough room for both dice, tokens, and even some more sleeved cards if you want. Lastly, we have the Monster Cave. This one is a similar form factor to the Monster Fortress, however a much larger deck holder with accessory tray inside, removable, and the main feature for some will be the commander slot on the end, which is visible if you want to store on your shelf so you know what's inside. Lastly, we need to cover the mythical beasts themselves. These are the designs that you get to choose from. We have the purple Overseer, the blue Kraken, the green Minotaur, the yellow Phoenix, the red Dragon, and the black Undead Worm. Now that we've had a quick look at each of the deck boxes, let's go into our actual review. When we do a deck box review, we break things down into 4 categories: build quality and toughness, capacity, security, and accessories. Let's start with build quality and toughness. To test this, we closely scrutinise the stitching, gluing, and overall materials used in the construction of the boxes. Then we subject each box to a series of increasingly destructive actions, crushing, dropping, and attempting to simulate some worst-case scenarios. We start by looking at the materials used for the covers of the deck boxes and notice that these actually vary based on the colour of the box. It's not a simple green dye applied to the same materials as the blue box. This means that each box has yet more uniqueness from its counterparts. But also, each material has a slightly different property. Blue, purple, and yellow are slightly stiffer and have a slightly different feel on the corners, joining a little sharper than the other 3 colours. Other than this, the materials are just an aesthetic choice. The outcome of this review section varies, as the smaller Den boxes are weaker due to their single cardboard wall design. The nature of their construction means that sideways force can squeeze the box, and therefore cards within, easier than would be ideal. However, the performance is still a far cry from worrying. The other 2 boxes have inserted compartments that double up for the strength of the walls. These boxes can withstand a moderate to high amount of pressure before showing clear signs of bending. With that said, no reasonable amount of force should cause any problems. The windowed flap on the cave is also slightly weaker, as the hole created leaves only slim cardboard struts for security. Finally, we have to mention the metal discs on the front. Unfortunately, in some of our testing, these discs did come off. The glue used is just not quite strong enough against a smooth metal disc. I think this is easily remediable, either from yourself if you do happen to find that one of these comes out. To be honest, if you look after the box, it shouldn't happen, but it should be reasonably easy to solve. with a little bit of glue inside. Hopefully, Kakapopo TCG end up using a slightly stronger glue than what has been sent to us, but I can't guarantee that. Hi guys, Editor John here. We have had a response back from Kakapopo TCG explaining that these are prototypes and that the glue will be different on the finished models, and we shouldn't see this issue if you were to purchase one. So bear that in mind with what I'm saying at the moment. Ultimately, it is the aesthetic element of the box that is most appealing, and therefore a little bit sad that this does come off. Like I said, it should be very easily fixed. If it does happen to you in your boxes, it doesn't break anything. It is a very solid metal disc anyway, but unfortunately, it's something we have to point out. With this in mind, we have to give the smaller Den a 7 out of 10 and the larger Fortress and Caves an 8 out of 10. A little bit of stronger glue, and we could have knocked that number up another notch. Unfortunately, cardboard is never as strong as plastic, so it's going to be difficult to get higher than a 9, but still, all things considered, a pretty good score. Our next category is capacity, and for this, we simply attempt to fit the volume of cards advertised inside of the boxes. The results are that all deck boxes hold exactly what is advertised. The Den and Fortress hold 100 double-sleeved cards, even with sealable inners with room to spare, whilst the Cave holds 100 triple-sleeved cards with thick inners. This is both impressive and, in the case of the Cave, a very rare capacity for a deck box. Quite a niche requirement, but if you are a triple sleever or a double sleever with standard sleeves and the larger outer sleeves, then this is a great option for that reason alone. 10 out of 10 across the board. Next, we test the security of these deck boxes. We do this with the classic shake test. We load each deck box with 100 double-sleeved cards and shake the box with increasing intensity until it opens, spilling its contents. The Den has the weakest performance with a 6 out of 10, opening under a reasonable degree of force. The Fortress and Cave scored a much stronger 8 out of 10. Not only this, but the separate deck inserts keep the cards together if a spill does occur. Lastly, we look at the accessories category. As you can see, the Den does not cater for accessories, so this will be an NA. The accessory tray from the Fortress is slightly larger than the Cave, so this gains an edge, having the space to store even MTG's infamous large spin-down dice. The Cave is less impressive, but should still hold enough for any game. Okay, so we've covered the main categories, but there is one last thing we just want to touch on. These metal discs, whilst absolutely fantastic and on any of the large deck boxes, sit inside of the closure. You can't see any raised edge from any of these discs. It is worth noting that on the smaller Dens, the disc is sat just inside of the opening flap, and so there is a raised portion of this metal disc. You can probably just about see it. Some of the designs are slightly sharper than others. It's a very minimal thing, but if you have anything valuable, a laptop, a phone, something that you don't want scratching, then you would be worth not storing it in the same box and same compartment, same bag as one of these. It's odd that it only happens on the outer flap, but I think that that is just purely the design. The rest of them, like I said, are absolutely fine. And yeah, it's not a huge deal, just something we wanted to point out. In summary then, these boxes offer some really fantastic, unique aspects that you can't get from other boxes. Primarily the discs. They are cool, the designs are fun. I really like the Minotaur Barbarian, kind of speaks to me in my soul. But they're all really nice. The Phoenix is really neat also, but to be honest, there isn't really a bad design. I love the different styles and different patterns. It makes you feel like each of the deck boxes are giving you something extra that's a little bit different rather than just a different color of the same material, which a lot of other brands do. Probably the biggest selling point is the absolutely massive deck compartment. The fact that you can choose to have accessories or just ram it full of cards is really, really unique. That is something that you'd have to find a deck box that has 2 deck compartments in order to get the same amount of space, which obviously is a slightly different aesthetic. There are other deck boxes now out on the market that offer this commander compartment, but it's still a nice feature. Not everyone does do that, and I think it's something that is worth considering if that's something you enjoy, if you do play Commander and you do want a big deck box with that option. They are nice, they are neat, and I definitely think they're worth considering if some of these unique aspects are on your tick list. The other things to comment are that there are the additional accessories that you can pick up. So there are some sleeves which match with the designs, which are quite cool. And there are also these life counters, which again match with the designs. These are nice little magnetic things. I'll show a little clip of these here. But yeah, they are another neat little thing that you can choose to pick up if you want the whole package. You want to have the dice, not the dice, the life counters, the sleeves, and the boxes all of the same type. If you really like one of the monsters, then that's something really neat that you can get. Overall, I don't know exactly what the prices of these things are going to be. Whether that is or isn't reasonable to you and wherever you live, that's very much up to you. That's not something that we any longer comment on when it comes to things like this. Prices are very subjective. But as far as what you get, it's a reasonable box. Be aware of the disc and its potential to fall out. But otherwise, the rest of it is really neat. The rest of it's really nice. Yeah. Well worth considering. Check out the Kickstarter if you're interested. And thank you very much for watching another double sleeve review. If you like what we do here, I know we haven't posted many videos for a little while, but there are plenty of others which are still very valid, and we put a lot of time and effort into those, so please check those out here. And why not check out our cheeky little website? If you're in the UK and you need to pick up anything TCG related, then doublesleeve.co.uk is the place to go. We consider ourselves somewhat accessory specialists, but if you want any of the big TCGs, then we do everything we think you should need. Why not? Anyway, thank you very much, guys. Much appreciated. Subscribe and like and follow and all that stuff. Check us out on socials or whatever else. That's up to you. But I'll see you guys in the next one, hopefully not in a year's time. Thank you, guys. See you later.